I'm Katie Mitchell, instructor at Physique 57 in New York City. Welcome to Physique 360. Today we are going to sculpt and tone every inch of our bodies without the use of any props. So you can take us with you anytime, anywhere, and we'll make sure we keep you looking great from every angle. Joining me today are fellow New York City instructors, Mercedes to my right, and this is Sydney to my left. If you're finding yourself needing to take any kind of modifications today throughout, or if you're a beginner, you're going to be following Mercedes. But if you're ready to take on the advanced variations of the exercises, you're going to be following Sydney. Are we ready? Let's get moving. So we're going to start by lifting our knees up nice and high into our chest and letting your arms swing opposite arm, opposite leg. So this is how we're going to start to just gently warm up and wake up our bodies. By the end of this, you'll be in the cardio zone. So think about setting yourself up for success right away. What is it that you need to accomplish out of this time that you've taken for yourself? Let's keep the legs moving and float your arms up to the ceiling. And then we're just going to start to pull your elbows down and down and down, generating even a little bit more heat and power in your body. I want you to think about using your biceps. Give those biceps a little bit of a flex. Use your back. Actively squeeze your lats every time you pull your arms down. Now let's add on a twist. Start to rotate opposite elbow to opposite knee and just let yourself look side to side. So we're warming up those obliques a little bit too. And we should be feeling a little bit warmer by now. Let's take 10 more seconds and then meet us on the floor in a forearm plank. 1, twist 2, twist 3. And let's see if we can make it even bigger, even more dynamic by now. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, meet us on the floor in a forearm plank. So your elbows are going to be right underneath your shoulders, and you've got a straight line from the crown of your head all the way down to your heels. Now, we are going to hold this plank for a few breaths. So if you're following Mercedes, you might need to sneak in a few breaks, bend your knees, and then jump right back in. But if you're following Sydney, she is going to strive to hold that plank steady and stable and still for the entire duration. Now, this is still the warm-up. So what I want you to establish is a strong connection to your abdominal wall. Pull your belly in so tight to your back that you can literally feel your waistline cinching. 4 more seconds and your first change is coming up. Take a breath. Hold 2, hold 3, and on 4, come up to a push-up position. Mercedes is going to modify down on her knees, and we're all going to dive right into a push-up. Bend your elbows, lower your chest, and stretch. Down and up. Now, make sure that the chin stays out of your chest so you have a straight line from either the crown of your head down to your knees, or if you're with Sydney, you've got a straight line from your head all the way down to your heels. It's a major heat builder in your body, so let yourself start to get even deeper into the cardio zone. Take it one more time. Now, hold at the top. Tuck your toes, stretch your legs, point your right foot, and start to pulse your right leg up and up. So we're still primarily in that plank. You've got to think about your waistline, but we're also strengthening our back stabilizers, getting a little toning action out of our glute, and using that right leg to challenge your core. 4 more pulses here. 1, lift 2, lift 3, and now hold. Lift your hips up to a downward dog. You're going to open your hip, turn out your leg, make sure your knee is as straight as it can be, and then shift your weight back forward to a plank. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. Shift your weight back, shift your weight forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. So let the power of your breath help you flow through this, and also let your breath help you get a deeper connection to your abdominal wall. So every time you exhale, you're going to pull your abs even closer to your back. This will be your last one. Hold the right knee to your right elbow and just take a little pulse in and in. If you're following Sydney over here and you want to get even more out of your arms, you're going to add a little pulse down in your elbows. Bend and bend, and you've got 8 seconds to remember that burning is literally firming happening in your body, so let the body get nice and hot. On 8, you're going to step your foot right in between your hands. Take your hands to your hips. Roll your body up. Chest is open, but we're still inclined forward. We're going to curtsy. Bend the knees and lift. Down and up. So in your curtsy position, there's a few details that we've got to check in with. So you'll notice that the shoulders are square, the hips are square, the right knee should point directly over your right third toe, and your left big toe should be right in line with your right heel. So this is one of my absolute favorite ones for sculpting and toning and firming the entire 360 degrees of your front thigh. Let's take it a little bit faster. Pulse and pulse and pulse, and challenge yourself to get even more cardio. You're going to float your fingertips up overhead and start to pump your elbows down and down. 10 more seconds here. 1, 2, 3. It's also an excellent opportunity to work your posture and your abs. So open your chest and pull your abs in. 9 and 10. Take your hands to your hips. Step back on your left leg. Point your right foot. Bring your right toes to your knee. Bend your standing leg. Bring your chest forward and lengthen your right leg back behind you 3/4 length. So your torso is going to be parallel to the floor. Your hips are going to be square to the floor, but your right leg is just a little turned out. So what you're feeling is core. That's what's keeping you balanced. And a little bit of that right side glute. Now, Sydney's going to add a little pulse up with her right leg to get even more out of that right glute. And she's also going to reach her fingertips straight up overhead to challenge that balance a little more. 4 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, and on 4, hold. Take your hands down to the floor. Stretch your right leg straight to the ceiling. So we're in a standing split. Let's break this down one slow. We're going to do a Twizzler. Bend your knee in half. Turn your leg in and take it to the outside of your left knee. And then turn the leg out. Open the hip and stretch the leg. 2 counts. Down for 2 and up for 2. So what you should be feeling are your inner thighs when you lower the leg down, and you should be feeling that outer hip when you stretch your leg up. And guess what? We're also getting an incredible hamstring stretch too. So it's strengthening and stretching all at the same time. Now, if you're following Sydney, she's going to take it a little bit faster down and up. So the leg goes down and up and down and up. And this is how she's going to get right back into that cardio zone. We just came from that isometric hold. So this is how she's going to start to build the heat back up in her body. Last one. Hold the leg up at the top and just take a little pulse up, little lift, little lift. Now keep pulsing that leg up. And walk your hands all the way forward to the top of a push-up position. So your palms are right underneath your shoulders, and you've got a straight line from your head all the way down to your left heel. Now, hold the leg still, bend your right knee in half, and bring that right knee to your right elbow, and then stretch the leg back behind you. 2 counts. Forward for 2, and back for 2. Mercedes is going to come on down to her left knee, and we're all going to go 1 count in and out. Bring it in and out. Now, we're going to add on a push up. Bend your elbows down and up and breathe. Inhale, exhale, inhale. It's a tough moment, so you've got to think tough, strong, positive thoughts. 4 more seconds here. Inhale, exhale, push. Can your chest get below your elbows every single time? That's where you're really going to maximize your efforts. Now, hold it up at the top and just pulse that leg up. If you're following Sydney, carefully come down to your left knee. Put your forearms down on the floor so the elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Your hips are going to be square to the floor. Now bend your right knee in half so that knee points straight down and the toes point straight up to the ceiling. We're going to take it up in 3 little lifts. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Make sure that the shoulders are relaxed and drawn down into the back. That looks great, Mercedes. And make this just as much about your abs as it is about the back of your legs. So squeeze your tummy nice and tight. Who says that we can't work our abs while we work that leg? Now just pulse it up. Lift and lift and lift. And here comes a change. Stretch your right leg all the way straight back behind you. Take your left fingertips to your right elbow and start to open up your right hip, your right waistline, and your right shoulder so the right side of the body is directly on top of the left. Now lower that leg down and up and down and up, and you're going to notice Mercedes' leg is a little bit lower, and again, that's okay because she is still feeling some incredible firming action happening here in the side glute. But if you're with Sydney, look at her go. She's going for height over here. Now let's turn it into a U shape. Lower and carry it forward, lower and carry it side. If you're with Mercedes, she's going to carefully come down to her left hip, stretch her left arm out from underneath her, and relax her head on that arm. Last one, hold the leg forward, take that leg down and up and down, and it's just forward in front of you at a 45-degree angle. This time, hold the leg up and just pulse that leg up. Little lift, gorgeous. Gorgeous. If you're following Sydney and you want even more of a balance challenge, float your right fingertips up to the ceiling. 8 seconds. 1, lift 2, lift 3, and then the change is coming up. We're not going to stop moving. 6, lift 7 and 8. Now keep pulsing and put your left hip down on the floor and put your right hand down on the floor in front of you and extend your left fingertips out from underneath you and then extend your left leg right out from underneath your right one. And flex through both of your feet. So we're in a banana shape, and that means you've got a straight line from your fingertips to your tailbone, but the legs are kickstand forward at just a 45-degree angle, so they're just slightly in front of your body. Hips are stacked. Let's take it up in 3 little beats. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. Try to keep your top leg parallel to the bottom one. And we want to create length in the body while we create strength. So think of your top leg trying to get a little longer than the bottom one every single time. Last set, we're going to take our accent down now. Down and down. And you can almost imagine that you've got a playground ball right in between your inner thighs and you're giving it an active squeeze every single time. Now, 4 more here. 2, 3, hold. Turn the leg out, point your foot, bring your toe up to your knee, stretch your leg up, and then flex that foot and lengthen and lower the leg down. Try it again. Point, bring it up, stretch, flex, lengthen, and lower. Now, we're still using our core. Keep your abs tight to your back so that nothing starts to move in your upper body. And you should feel really nice and free through your right hip flexor and so strong and engaged through that right glute. Last one, point the foot, bring the toe to your knee. Now take your accent down and down and down. And we're going to take the leg forward and back. Here we go. Tap it forward, tap it back. Tap it forward, tap it back. You're making a big U shape up and over that bottom leg. So make sure that the U is as big as it can be. If I gave you a little piece of chalk, you'd be able to trace that same U over and over again in space. Last one. Hold the leg back. Hold. Glue your toe down to the floor. Now, lower your right knee down towards the floor and then open the leg back. A little faster. Take the leg down and back, and your right hip is going to start to tip forward just slightly in front of your left one. So the weight is rolling forward. You're going to put a little bit more pressure in your right hand. So we're creating even more resistance, even more of a challenge for that right side glute, aren't we, Mercedes? Let's hold this one back and finish that outer seat. Just wrap the leg back, back, back. You've got 10 more, then we're going right into the inner thighs with a vengeance. 10, 2, 3. Think of getting every last drop of energy out of that side glute. 7, press 8, press 9. Now hold. Flatten out your right foot. Float your left leg up off the floor and let your right hip tip back just slightly. We're going to lift the left leg up a little bit and down a little bit. Up a little bit and down a little bit. And your entire right foot is flat on the floor, just behind your left leg. And you can almost use that as like the anchor of a boat to keep everything grounded and sturdy and steady. Let's take it a little bit faster. Lift, 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 lift. And you're creating the long, lean leg line of your dreams here. We already got the outer hip. We already got the top of the thigh. We already got the back of the thigh. This is where we're going to get that inner thigh through Physique 360, right? Every single inch of the circumference of the inner thigh is going to be nice and tight and toned. 3 little beats now. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. See if you can make every single set of 3 a little bit longer than the last one. Last set, hold it up at the top and just bend and stretch that leg. And you want it to be a very small bend. So check out Sydney's knee over here. She's barely softening through that knee, but what she's feeling is the inner thigh contract incredibly deeply every time the leg goes straight. Now, hold the leg straight, point your foot. We're going to take tiny little lifts. Here we go. Lift, 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 lift. Final 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Okay, roll over onto your back. Give your knees a big hug into your chest. Curl the head, the neck, and the shoulders up off the floor. Take your hands back around behind your head so the elbows are open, the chest is open. Stretch your toes up to the ceiling. Turn your legs out and open your legs a little bit wider than your hips. Now, take a little pulse in and in. Gorgeous. If you're following Mercedes, you might have to reach your fingertips forward. Hands behind the head is going to give you a little bit bit more challenge for your upper abs. So if you're with Sydney, she's going to keep her hands behind her head the whole time. If you're following Mercedes, you also might need to take a moment to relax your head down on the floor, and that's okay. Take a second, reset, and as soon as you've reconnected with your abs, you jump right back in. Now take this down 2 counts. Down for 2, take it up for 2. Go with the breathing. Inhale as you lower and exhale as you lift. Now the lower that the legs go, the more of a challenge it's going to be. So Mercedes is going to keep her range of motion a little bit smaller, but she is still getting an incredible challenge in her abdominal wall. And guess what? This is still in her thighs too. All of these exercises were designed for efficiency. Multiple muscle groups being worked at the same time. Last one, hold the legs down, keep the pulse going, keep the pulse going. If you're following Sydney for the final 10, she's going to reach her fingertips straight back behind her. Here we go. 10, 2, and see if you can get your chest a little higher off the floor now to make those abs sizzle even a little more. In 7, in 8, in 9, and 10, and give your knees a big hug. Rock and roll your body all the way up to seating. We're going to put our feet down. We're going to put our hands down. Lift your hips up. Open up your chest. Bend your elbows down and up. So we've got a little sprinkle of tricep action in here for you before we revisit the other side. Let's pick up the pace. Little bend, little bend. Notice that the shoulders are down and the chest is open. So the only joint that we're moving is the elbow joint. If you're following Sydney and you want even more of a challenge, she's going to flex her feet and lengthen her legs 3/4 length out in front of her. So she's got even more weight challenging her triceps. 10 more. When she's like, I do, I feel it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and on 10, release your hips down to the floor. Swing your legs back around behind you and meet us back in a forearm plank. Woof, all right, so we've officially made it to the halfway point. So now you know what the rest of the workout's gonna look like. You know when you have to power through, but you also know when you can take a breath and when you can pull back a little bit. Now, maybe last go around you had to follow Mercedes and you snuck in a few breaks, but maybe this time you're with Sydney and you're gonna hold steady and still with a tight core the entire time. Everybody breathe. You've got 4 more seconds in this plank. 4, hold 2, hold 3, and 4. You made it. Lift up to the top of a push-up position. If you're following Mercedes, she's going to soften her knees down towards the floor. Here we go. Push-ups. Bend your elbows down and up and down and up. Now make sure the chin is out of the chest. And if you're with Mercedes, you're not on the kneecap. Your weight is a little bit further forward, so you're on your thighs. Now remember, chest below the elbows every single time. It's an incredible exercise for your upper body and your cardio. 2 more times. Down and up. Now hold it up at the top. Tuck your toes. Stretch your legs and point your left foot. Pulse that left leg up. Now you've probably noticed that we have not stopped moving the whole time because I want you to get your cardio too. I want this to be your one-stop shop today. Let's take 4 more little pulses. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Lift your hips up to a down dog. Remember, you're going to open your left hip, turn your left leg out, stretch the knee and point the foot. Now shift your weight forward to a plank and bring your left knee to your left elbow. 2 counts. Inhale, take it back, and exhale, shift forward. Inhale, take it back, and exhale, take it forward. So this is all about your core. Think of using your abdominal wall to steer your body, to guide the way. Inhale back, exhale forward. 1 more time. Inhale back. Now hold it forward and just pulse that knee to your elbow, to your elbow, to your elbow. Try to touch it just once. And if you're following Sydney, she's going to add a little pulse down in her arms for 10, 2, 3, trying to get even deeper, even lower every single time because she's got something really important she wants to accomplish today. Now, put your foot right in between your hands. Take your hands to your hips. Bring your body up. Open your chest, but keep yourself inclined forward. We're right back in that curtsy. Bend down and up. Bend down and up. See if you can go down 2 inches and then up just 1 every single time so that you're constantly getting deeper and deeper into the position. Now, focusing on your posture, open up the chest. Let's work the strength of the upper back. Focusing on your abs. How tight can you get your belly button to your spine? Pick up the pace. Little pause, little pause. And if you're following Sydney and you want even more challenge for the cardio, she's going to float her fingertips up overhead and start to pull her elbows down. Pull and pull and pull and pull. pull. You got 10, 2. Think about the bigger picture right now. What is it that you want to get out of this time? 7, pull 8, pull 9, and 10. Hands to your hips. Step back on your right leg, point your left foot, bring your left toe to your knee, bend your right knee, bring your body forward, and lengthen your left leg 3/4 length behind you. So we're back in that incredible balance. Now, your torso is parallel to the floor, your hips are square to the floor, but your left leg is a little turned out. Again, it's designed to work your abs and your left glute. Now, if you're following Sydney, she's going to add a little pulse up on her left leg, and she's also going to extend her arms forward in front of her, and you've got 10 seconds in this strong balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe and stay incredibly determined. 8, 9. Now hold. Take your hands down to the floor. Stretch your left leg up to the ceiling. We're in a standing split. Here comes that Twizzler. Bend your left knee in half. Turn it in. Take it to the outside of your right knee and bend your right knee. Then turn the leg out. Open the hips. Stretch your right leg and stretch your left leg. 2 counts. Here we go. Take it down for 2 and up for 2 and down. Remember that knee is going to try to go to the outside of your right leg every single time for maximum contraction in the inner thigh. Down for 2 and let the weight of your head drop. That'll feel really good on your neck and on your shoulders. Now Sydney's going to pick up the pace. Down and up and down and up, and she's going to start to get her heart rate right back up to its peak. You've got 5, lift, 2, lift, 3, lift, 4, lift, and on 5, hold it up at the top and just pulse that leg up and up. All right, here we go. Keep the leg pulsing. Walk your hands all the way forward to a push-up position. Your shoulders are right over your palms. You've got a straight line from your head all the way to your right heel. Now, hold the leg still. Bring your left knee to your left elbow and then stretch the leg back behind you. 2 counts. Forward for 2 and back for 2. If you're following Mercedes, you're going to put your right knee on the floor, and we're all going to take it a little bit faster. So bring that leg in and back and in and back. Last set of push-ups at 'em. Bend and stretch and bend and stretch and down and up. The last push-ups that you're gonna do today. 4 more seconds here. 1, push, 2, push, 3, push. Now hold at the top and just pulse that leg up and up. Now if you've been following Sydney, put your right knee down on the floor. Put your forearms down on the floor so your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Lift the chin out of your chest and bend your left knee in half. Now, here's what I want you to feel. The closer that the heel is to the glute, the more you're going to feel that hamstring. So really tighten up the space between the heel and your seat. You feel that, Sydney? Okay, good. Let's take it up in 3 little lifts. 1, 2, 3. So 3 sharp little pokes. Don't let them water together. Think very sharp and staccato. Lift, lift, lift. And remember that nothing is moving in your back. That's key to not only supporting the spine, but challenging your core. Last one, just go back to the single pokes. Lift, lift. Little lifts up, and keep that going. Stretch your legs straight back behind you and take your right fingertips to your left elbow. Start to pivot onto your right forearm. Open up the left side of your body. The left shoulder, the left waistline, the left hip are going to stack right on top of the right. So if there were a wall behind you, you'd be trying to roll the left side of your body back up against that wall. Now, lower and lift that leg. Take it down, take it up. Mercedes is going to keep her leg a little bit lower. We're going to take a U. Bring that leg forward and bring that leg back. Lower, carry it forward, and lower, carry it back. Lower, carry it forward. How good does that outer hip feel right now? Lower, carry it forward, and lower, carry it back. This time, hold that leg forward. Just lower it and lift it. All right, if you're following Mercedes, she's going to put her right hip down on the floor and extend her right arm out from underneath her. But Sydney is going to stay up. Now, hold the leg at the top and pulse that leg up. Lift and lift. Sydney's going to add on one more challenge. Here we go. She's going to reach her left fingertips straight up to the ceiling to really give herself something ambitious to aim for. You got 8 seconds to the change. 8, 2, 3. Maybe now the leg gets a little bit longer if you're following Mercedes and you soften it a little bit. On 8, put your right hip down. Extend the right arm out from underneath you. Put your left hand down on the floor in front of you. Extend your right leg directly out from underneath the left one. here's what you should feel. A straight line from your right fingertips to your tailbone, and your legs are in front of you just a little bit, just at a 45-degree angle. So we are very open through the hip flexors as we work this outer hip. Now, take that leg up in 3 little lifts. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. Keep reaching out through the heel like you're trying to touch the other side of that room, right? 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. Make sure your abs are still strongly connected to your back. Last one, we're gonna take our accent down, down, and down. All right, 4 more seconds here. 4, 2, 3, now hold. Turn your leg out. Point your foot. Bring your left toe to your knee. Stretch the leg up. Flex, lengthen, and lower that leg down. Gorgeous, Sydney. Point, bring it in. Stretch it up. Flex, lengthen, and lower down. Bring it in. Stretch, flex, lengthen, and lower. Let that leg feel long. Imagine that your leg is like a foot longer than it actually is. So you're really creating that stretch. In and up. Now, hold it down. Bring your toe to your knee and just take a little pulse down. Pulse, 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 pulse. And we're gonna take the leg forward and back. Forward, tap it back. Tap it forward, tap it back. Making that nice U shape up and over the bottom leg. Now, make sure that your hips are still stacked. Left, right on top of the right. 4 more seconds like this. 4, 2, 3. Hold the leg back. Lower your left knee down and then wrap your left leg back. Take it down, take it back. Take it down, take it back. And remember, your left big toe is rooted down into the floor directly behind your right leg. So the toe is not gonna move. You can think about that toe as like a kickstand. Now, keep the leg moving, but bring your left hip forward in front of your right one, and that should give you even more of a challenge through your outer glute. You're doing so great. Hold the leg up at the top and wrap that leg back and back and back. Here we go. Final 10 seconds. Get it all out to start to run towards that burn. Press 5, squeeze 6, squeeze 7, and breathe. 8. Good. On 10, you're going to hold. Flatten out your left foot. Float your right leg just a little bit off the floor and take a little pulse. Leg up a little, down a little, up a little, down a little. We're going to start it slow so that you can really find your inner thigh. Feel that muscle squeeze. Feel that muscle tighten. Feel that muscle getting leaner. Now take it a little bit faster. Lift and lift and lift and lift. And it's so long, you should feel incredibly extended behind that leg. Like all the muscles of the limb are tight and long and engaged. Little lift, little lift. Could it be a hair higher off the floor? Try it. See if that helps you engage your inner thigh more. Now, take it up in 3 little lifts. Lift 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. And try to reach just as energetically out through your right fingertips as you're reaching out through the heel of that foot. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Now, hold right here and take a little bend stretch. Bend stretch, bend stretch, bend stretch. But the bend is not the important part. All of the work happens when your leg goes totally straight. So make that bend as small as it can be and really focus on elongating. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it straight. Point your foot. Last little bit. Here we go. Little lift, little lift, little lift, little lift, little lift, little lift, little lift. Ping pong ball right on that ankle. Throw it up to the ceiling. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Roll over onto your back. Give your knees a big hug into your chest. Curl the head, the neck, and the shoulders off the floor. Take your hands behind your head and start to dart your toes out. Right toes, left toes, dart, dart. Now if you're following Mercedes, you might need to reach your fingertips forward. You might even need to grab a hold of your thighs, or you might need to relax your head down on the floor. But if you're following Sydney, you're gonna stay lifted. The chest is nice and high off the floor, and she's gonna add a twist from side to side to side to side. And to maximize the cardio even a little more, she's going smaller and faster. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give it a hug. Roll over onto the front side of your body. Find a forearm plank. Now we're gonna twist the hips. Right hip down, left hip down. Right hip down, left hip down. So this is your finish line. You're gonna work the abs on the back, then flip right over to a plank. You've got 3 sets of that. The transitions are gonna be fast and furious. So we're going full steam ahead to the end. If you're following Sydney, take it a little bit faster. Twist, 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 twist. 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees. Roll over onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Peel the head, the neck, and the shoulders off the floor. Take your hands back around behind your head. Stretch your toes up to the ceiling and start to scissor the legs. Switch and switch and switch and switch. Again, Mercedes, if you're following her and you're working your abs, you've always got the option to stretch your fingertips forward, to grab a hold, or to relax your head down on the floor. But if you're following Sydney, she's going to add a twist from side to side, from side to side. This is an incredible one for you to challenge your entire abdominal wall 10 times. 1, 2, think of rotating and lifting your chest at the same time. 6, twist 7, twist 8, twist 9, and 10. All right, give those knees a big hug. Roll back over onto the front side of your body. Hit your forearm plank. We're going to take a little jog. Bend your right knee, then your left knee. Right knee, left knee. Now, if you're following Sydney, pick up the pace a little bit for even more cardio. Switch, 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 switch for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees real quick, right over onto your back. Last set. Hug the knees into the chest. Curl the head, the neck, and the shoulders off the floor. Take your hands back around behind your head. Take your toes up to the ceiling. Turn your legs out and cross your thighs. Cross and cross and cross and cross. Mercedes is going to stay right here, but Sydney is going to take her legs down a little bit lower. Now pick up the pace. Cross, 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 cross. And if you're with Sydney and you want even more to the finish line, reach your fingertips back behind you for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hug your knees. Roll back over onto the front side of the body. Here's where we finish this whole thing. Find the plank. You should feel incredibly strong here in the stillness. Take a deep breath. You've got 5 seconds. 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, and on 5, bend your knees. Push your hips back to your heels. Let your body just switch gears into recovery mode. And then roll up onto all fours. Round your back, look in at your waistline. Arch your back, look up to the ceiling. And then settle right in neutral. Step your right foot through your hands. So we're coming into a lunge. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Stretch your left arm up and over. So what you're feeling are your left lats, your left oblique, your left hip flexor. And then take your hands down to the floor. Now you have 2 options here. You can either take a runner's lunge, Mercedes will show that, or you can take a quad stretch. Reach back with your right hand, pull the heel to the seat. Sydney will demonstrate that one. Nice deep breaths through all of these final stretches. You work so hard. Let's let your heart rate slow down. Now release. Send your hips back, stretch your right leg, flex your foot. If you're following Mercedes, stay right here. But if you're following Sydney and you have a little more flexibility, maybe bend your elbows and bring your chest a touch closer to your thigh. Let the weight of your head drop. And then roll on up. Slide your right leg back. Take the same thing on the other side. Step your left foot forward. Bring your left hand down. Reach your right fingertips up and over. Shoulders are soft and relaxed. And just shift your hips forward so you feel your right hip flexor stretch. Take your hands down. Now you can either follow Mercedes and take a runner's lunge, tucking and lengthening through the back knee, or follow Sydney, reach back, grab a hold of the foot, and draw the heel towards your seat. Release and let it go. Send your pelvis back, lengthen your left leg, stretch the knee, flex the foot. If you're with Sydney and you're a little more open through the hamstring, soften your elbows and let your chest bow forward, releasing the weight of your head so you can get even deeper into that stretch for the back of the leg. Roll your body up. Take a seat. Stretch your left leg forward in front of you and flex your foot. Take your right foot, flex it, and cross it over your left thigh. So we're in a figure 4. Bring your fingertips right next to you. Establish length in your spine, and then just incline your chest forward. Now start to walk your hands forward, and when you can't walk your hands any further forward, soften your elbows and relax into the hip opener. So what you should be feeling is the tension in your right hip releasing. Roll your body up. Other side, stretch your right leg forward, flex your left foot, cross it over your right thigh. Fingertips come right next to your body. Think of reaching the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Incline your chest forward. And then walk your hands out and let your body soften into the space. Roll your body up. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Inhale, reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, bow your body forward and just relax. Take a moment, let yourself pause in the stretch. You should feel so incredibly accomplished for taking on the challenge today. With patience and consistency, you'll be able to see visible results and enjoy a stronger, healthier body. Thanks for joining us.